Welcome to the Horrormongers Literary Society, where we prove to you that we know how to read. Today's episode, we will be talking about the Stephen King novel Carrie, a story of a prepubescent teen dealing with the natural experience of blood.
Off to a great start. You're supposed to be introducing yourself. We just went over this 10 times. I'm not
You're too distracted by the blood.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Hi, I'm Brad.
Hey, I'm Zach.
And I'm Matt. And on this very special episode, we have our first guest.
Hey, listeners, this is Tim Green. Good to be here.
All right, then. He's good to be here.
Not so special episode.
Yeah.
Not good. It's not good for us.
Yeah, it's really, we're kind of being blackmailed into doing this.
Yeah.
Because Tim is working on a very special thing for the Horrormongers.
I am developing a logo for the Horrormongers, and it's going to be tight. And no, I did not blackmail them into letting me be here. They asked me to be here because I let them all borrow my book. Nobody owns the book Carrie, apparently.
Correct.
Yes.
I ended up getting my copy.
Well, I got my copy.
After you got a German version first, right?
Yeah. Tell everyone the story of why it took so long for us to do the episode on Carrie.
Because Brad learned German, and then
Because
read
Amazon
it.
just so good at descriptions.
So Amazon said I was going to get a regular copy of Carrie. I waited 6 weeks for the book to come in. Thought, why is it taking 6 weeks? And the whole book was in German, I found out. So then I had to reorder the book, and then I finally got the regular copy I wanted.
I just took Tim's. I'm like, Tim, I need a copy because I'm poor. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, but I'm very excited about the logo. The logo should look very nice. It's kind of a collaboration of a lot of different classic monsters, and it's one of those logos that I can tell it's going to have room to evolve. Kind of like, lots of good logos evolve with the organization. This one will be nice to kind of sum up what the Horrormongers are all about. So I'm excited.
So you're saying that down the line we'll find someone else that can do a better version of it?
Nope.
No. Not at all.
But
We'll just keep having me refine it.
Yes. My face will be on the logo, right? Just my face?
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be a good idea. Do like a little version of each of your faces. It's going to be kind of the same way.
I mean, that'd be pretty horrific enough.
I don't want to give too much away about the way it looks now, because everybody who's listening right now should come to the Horrormongers Halloween. Is that
Yeah, because that's when we're going to release a logo.
We are going to release the logo, and we might have gifts. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Gifts that you have to pay for?
Yeah. What do you call that? Transaction. We'll have transactions.
You'll be forced to buy our shit.
Yeah. We're really excited. We're going full on. We'll reveal the logo. We're going to obviously change. You don't have to look at our ugly faces now. It'll be the logo once it's unveiled.
And,
maybe we'll get more listeners after that.
Yeah.
And me and Brad, we're working on, I don't know if either of you guys are, but we're doing a group costume.
Yes.
Oh,
You're in on that?
I'm not part of like the main
trio,
group, but I'm a very special alcoholic.
Wait, but what's your costume?
Oh man. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. We were actually talking about maybe doing like a Halloween costume contest, maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If enough people show up in costume, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're one of the lucky few who we've invited, come out. If we haven't invited you, it's because we don't like you.
Yeah. So all 5 of you better show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are doing that. So now that we have our special guest, we need to haze him.
Uh-oh.
No, but we're just going to ask you, how did you get into horror movies? What kind of horror movies do you like? What are some inspirations for you?
Well, at this point in my life, I'm all about horror movies. Especially after, you guys have gotten me into a lot of stuff. But starting out, as a kid, I was an anxious little kid, so I didn't like much scary stuff until I turned maybe 12, 13. And I remember watching, I think it was Halloween 4 with my mom. So I didn't even start off on at the very beginning or anything. We watched Halloween 4.
It's okay, because Matt started on the ever-popular, classic Freddy vs. Jason.
Well, I will say, I saw Freddy vs. Jason. That was one, I remember seeing that, and I liked it a lot, honestly. I mean, it had a lot of action and stuff. It wasn't like, it wasn't the best scary movie ever or anything like that, but it was kind of cool seeing those two face off. But what I really started out with horror movies and stuff was more psychological thrillers and stuff like that. I really I love The Sixth Sense. I loved Identity, if anybody's seen that one.
Oh, John Cusack.
Yeah, John Cusack and Ray Liotta and Amanda Peet. But that
Amanda Peet.
Oh yeah.
Where's she been?
Where has she been? She was in Saving Silverman, dude. That was a great movie.
Yeah, great comedy.
Yeah.
She was in the whole 9 yards, and then she disappeared.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Bruce Willis ate her.
And then, actually, I can remember being maybe 14 or 15 and watching The Exorcist all alone in my dad's basement, like at night. And that was, I mean, it was like, it was at a point where, you know, it was so old that the effects and stuff weren't super scary. But I was like, man, I can really see how this scared a lot of people back in the day and stuff. So all those kind of together kind of got me on the trail, and you know, here I am sitting with the Horrormongers. So it's been a crazy ride.
So you're saying is you're a better whoremonger than Matt.
Well, I'll say this, and I didn't even know if I was going to bring this up, but I got to defend Matt. I haven't seen Scream either.
But do you know who Nev Campbell is?
I do know who Nev Campbell is.
Well, yeah, after
Party of
listening to our
Five?
first episode.
Party of Five, anybody?
Yeah, he knows her from Party of Five, the biggest
I
horror
don't even know
TV
what that is
show.
either.
But importantly, a big reason why you're on this episode is you're a Stephen King fan.
Oh, big Stephen King fan. Love him. I read Carrie back in high school, and it really struck home because I was just having my first menstrual cycles too, and no.
My menses.
But no, I liked it a lot. It got me into a bunch more Stephen King. I read The Shining after that, and my favorite book series of all time is actually The Dark Tower, which great series. Movie, not so much. Don't base it off the movie. You got to read the books, but
which is kind of a shame because Idris Elba. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think it's.
I like him as an actor. You know,
Yeah,
it's
he's
kind of
great.
like, and then
The
they're like,
Wire?
yeah, and then they're like, let's just not make it about really the Dark Tower.
Well, they just tried to squeeze too much into it. It's like you gotta at least give it 7, if not more, movies. There's 7 books. How are you gonna put them all into one movie?
Yeah, but
I mean, they took the Hobbit series
and
it
turned
was
it
one
into
book, and they made 3 movies.
Right,
So
yeah, great. That's
Somebody
a great
made some
idea. No, that's kind of why we started this. Was Brad kind of wanted to get into Stephen King because you haven't really read much from him before this.
I've never read a Stephen King novel before this.
Really?
No,
that's why
I've always wanted to get into Stephen King, mostly because of the Dark Tower series. Yeah. But then Zach suggested that I read other books of his before I get into Dark Tower because it ties in a lot of
references.
Lots of references.
So that's what I've been doing. I wanted to start from early, which with Carrie, his first novel, and I thought I'd work my way up.
Yeah, it references. It references, I believe, The Shining and Salem's Lot definitely gets referenced a lot.
I think a couple times.
The Stand.
What's that one where no one can sleep?
Insomnia.
Yeah. It references Insomnia.
All in Dark Tower?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 7 books, yeah.
Dark Tower's, I don't want to say his magna opus because he wrote it kind of in the middle of his...
Well, yeah, it was a long time that he wrote it, because he wrote the first 3, and then he waited like 10 years before he wrote anything else. There were people on their deathbeds, like, calling Stephen King, I need to know how this finishes, because I'm not going to be able to say around.
Sounds like another author that hasn't written a book in like a decade that people want to come out, you know.
Mr. Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Side note, I think that George R.R. Martin, I think the R.R. is just completely fake, and he's just copying off of J.R.R. Tolkien.
That's what I was thinking.
Ooh.
Honestly...
That's a whole conconspiracy, I think, that
maybe he is Tolkien.
I'm leading the way.
That's how you say his name. I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole.
Why don't you ask him?
Ask who? Tolkien? Mm-hmm. Okay. Or Tolkien, like saying Van Gogh. Like you're choking on something. That's
like
how
you're choking on an ear, maybe?
Yeah,
that's what Tim sounds like. He was choking on a cock.
So,
wow. That's where we're going? Okay.
Oh, my God.
Brad,
seriously.
Open another beer, Brad.
Yeah. I think you've had enough, sir.
But yeah, those are my influences. So again, happy to be here.
Much like Tim, I actually read a lot of Stephen King in high school. I think most people have, except for those of us who just learned to read last year.
Why are you all looking at me?
Looking right at Brad.
The Stand, Dark Tower, all that's what I read in high school.
I
never read Carrie, so
I was also influenced to read Stephen King after seeing Matt's collection of Stephen King novels on the shelf, and I was like, that's pretty badass.
I've read The Shining, read The Stand, Needful Things.
Oh yeah, classic. You should also read Needful Things.
Yeah, Needful Things is one of my favorite books by Stephen King, actually.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
I haven't. read
But
that
I
one.
think
Really?
the next one that Brad should read is The Stand.
Yeah, good luck
Stan's
getting
very
him.
phenomenal.
I love The Stand. It's probably my favorite Stephen King book. The first 2/3 of it. I wasn't a fan of the last third. Once they get to the town of Boulder or whatever it's called, I wasn't so much a fan because it becomes less of like a post-apocalyptic world to just like a, I don't know. Just to me, the last third wasn't as good as the first 2/3.
So great. Once I start reading, I got something to look forward to. At the end.
Yeah, you look
Or
forward to getting bored
maybe
at
I'm
the end.
setting you up, and like all of a sudden when you get there, you're like, oh, that was full of shit. It's not that bad.
Just lower my expectations,
Yeah.
and then I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Also, I hope you don't mind a lot of religious overtones.
I know a lot of people claim that The Stand is their favorite book of all time. Not even favorite Stephen King book, but just favorite book.
Yeah.
It's a good book. I love Stu Redmond. Stu Redmond's a good everyman character. And
You were saying religious overtones. I mean, we did just read Carrie.
yeah, we're gonna talk about
So-
that. There's nothing no religion at
no,
all in
whatsoever.
Carrie. None. I mean, it's
She was
really,
on her period the whole time.
yeah. It's mostly about menstrual blood. So.
Yeah.
The sarcasm's so thick I can cut it with a knife.
So let's go ahead and we'll go through the usual rigmarole. I want to use that word.
Ooh.
I've been waiting
Good
weeks
use of
to use
rigmarole.
it. Yeah, rigmarole. We usually start off with. I know what you're gonna say as soon as I say it.
Nudes.
News. We got a couple. We're gonna come up with another name for news. We have to. Because it's just mainly it gives a false message like we actually have horror movie news and we don't. It's just an update.
Breaking horror movie news.
It's our own news.
It's our own because the
updates.
world revolves around the three of us, and now four since Tim's here. Well, I guess something that's kind of newsworthy is we are going to watch Halloween.
Yeah, it comes out this
This week.
Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
you gonna be there?
Oh yeah, I'm
Who
coming.
invited him?
I was invited on Facebook.
How did you
He's
invite him?
invited the same way he was invited into this chat right now.
I
I'll
just
just be
weaseled
there
my
for
way
that.
in.
Yeah, knows your way in. So we are going to watch that. But let's talk about some movies we've watched the past, it's been 2 weeks already?
Yeah. Let's start with I already forgot what it's called.
Good start.
All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve, and kind of anthologies, 3 shorts.
Yeah, but it has Art the Clown in it, as we've talked about Terrifier in the past,
Yes.
which was amazing. And Art the
Very
Clown's like one of my favorite characters now.
Dude, he is like, I hope he becomes a... Oh my god.
Go on.
No.
also in
Let's
another movie
pause
before that.
pause real quick and just...
Let's just
Rude.
breathe it in.
Oh, stinks. Oh.
I hope Art the Clown becomes like a horror movie staple. Like I hope they don't just
Oh,
stop
me
at
too.
Terrifier
Yeah.
because it's a good. It's I won't say unique, but it's a unique take on a not unique thing. If that makes sense.
I think it would be interesting if they don't necessarily franchise Terrifier, but franchise Art the Clown.
Oh, yeah.
Have him in other movies.
Well, we're talking about All Hallows Eve, which is like an anthology. The only
Exactly.
good part of All Hallows Eve, in my opinion, which we'll get to, was Art the Clown stuff.
Yes.
Well, Art the Clown was in another movie before All Hallows Eve.
Before the anthology.
Yeah, I
All
saw
Hallows
that
Eve?
on
It's called
IMDb.
Ninth Circle.
Ew.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder if that's based on the All Hallows Eve because it's kind of like Dante's Inferno, the first part of the anthology. Like
Yeah.
they're in hell, I guess, and someone gets raped. You know,
Yeah.
can't go a show without Brad make me watch a movie about rape.
I actually,
That's Brad's specialty.
I watched Terrifier last night, and then I just watched All Hallows Eve today. And I gotta say, you guys were dead on about Terrifier. That was awesome. I mean,
Terrifier's great.
there were parts when I don't know how much I can give away about it and make people still want to watch it, but when he's doing the Saw thing, I was like
Oh, yeah.
cringing in terror.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's also parts that made me belly laugh, like when he flips off that girl after she stabs him in the foot or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, it was so all over the place,
it's
but it
Like we
was
said,
great.
he's equally as creepy as he is funny.
Yeah, it's almost like a creepy funny. It's hard. It's a good balance.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's completely silent. Like he never says a word.
Yeah.
Like even when he's like in pain, like he's like silently screaming.
Also, doesn't say a word in All Hallows Eve, so I think that's an ongoing thing about that character.
Yeah.
Probably never talks.
Yeah, so All Hallows Eve is an anthology. I guess it didn't technically introduce Art the Clown, but Art the Clown is in it. It takes place before Terrifier. And it's like an anthology with these guys. They find a VHS tape in their trick-or-treat bag, and they decide to watch it because she's a good babysitter and just lets them watch, most likely,
Yeah.
a guy showing his dong to these kids. Let's watch it. And on it, there's like 3 short horror movies.
Each one of them has Art the Clown in it, but it's not based around Art the Clown.
Yeah, the second one
was
dumb.
The
I was
second one
what's
was
going
really
on?
bad.
No, okay, the first 2 were meh, and then the third one picked
Amazing.
up.
But it's almost like Terrifier light. Because
Yeah.
they do take a lot of things from.
Yeah.
Obviously, Terrifier took a lot from that third anthology, whatever. But yeah, that one almost was purely just Art the Clown. The third one. The other ones, he's kind of was in it.
Well, and then
He's like featured.
And the second one, he's not even actually. He doesn't make an actual appearance in person.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that. And I saw it coming from a mile away when they talked about the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I don't.
Brad's
Okay.
quizzical face. There's a movie?
I was trying to figure out what you were talking about without giving stuff away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to be as spoiler free as possible.
But
Unless
the
you're
end,
Matt.
Yeah, not in Logan though. Did you know Logan dies at the end of that?
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
He dies at the. Oh my
Still
gosh!
haven't seen it.
Wow.
Wait, you haven't seen, what about Avengers Infinity War? You should really see that. Like, half the universe is just snapped
Everyone,
away.
like, yeah.
It's awesome.
I heard
God.
it had a happy ending.
Oh, yeah, the best parts when Spider-Man get snapped away.
Oh.
Oh, God, I just realized people might not...
Yeah, really. You just gave. You're the new Matt, dude.
Well, I was trying to do it as a bit to be funny, but I realized that people might not have seen it yet. Oh, come on, if you haven't seen it by now, you're not going to watch
Right.
it.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it,
It's been
it
out for a
already
while.
got ruined for you.
Yeah. It was Matt's fault if you haven't already seen
Plus,
it.
I mean, Marvel's already announced that they're making another Spider-Man movie. So
Yeah, like it's going to stick.
yeah.
Ha ha! Pun.
Oh, I get it.
Well done.
Yeah, I thought so. Rigmarole and stick, I should just quit while I'm ahead.
But the end. One more thing about All Hallows Eve is that the end got really meta. It was very. I mean, it's to
Yes.
the point
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, he's looking at me right now. Like,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, yeah.
Did you stick around for after the, like, I mean, it's not like even in the credits, like 10 seconds in the credits, stick around.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was probably my favorite part of the entire movie,
That was
honestly.
good stuff.
Very creepy. Very creepy.
Yeah, All Hallows Eve is a quick anthology. Let's just do a quick rating out of 10. Again, 5 being average, 7 and higher being above average, and 9 to 10 being amazing. So,
I
Brad,
give it 6.5.
6.5.
I'd say.
Did you watch it, Matt?
I'd give it I haven't seen it yet.
All right.
I'll give it a 7 clown hats out of 10 clown hats.
I give it 4 poop smearings on a wall. Watch the movie.
Wow, so below average though?
I would say below. Okay, 5. The last,
it's worth
the
a
last
watch.
one was good.
Yeah.
It was
There's
unique.
obviously there's a reason why they made Terrifier because that last one was really good. The third,
I feel like it made up for the rest of it.
the first 2 were I was bored for the first hour of the movie. I wasn't bored, but I wasn't like amazed. It was just kind of
I
like
think I was playing on my phone for the whole second one because I'm like,
Oh my God.
I don't care.
okay. I'll give it a 5. 5 poop
All right.
smears on the bathroom
5
wall.
poop smears? That's a lot of poop, so that's a pretty good rating.
If you watch Terrifier or the movie, you would know what my poop smears score means.
If you've seen Terrifier, it's worth watching.
Oh,
just to
definitely.
see Art the Clown.
Right.
Yeah, you should
Yeah.
stop
Art the Clown
listening
is
to
just
this
so
right
much
now
fun.
and just watch Terrifier.
Watch Terrifier. That's like
Yeah.
that's like the best gift of the year. Like it just came out of nowhere for me anyway.
Yeah.
I agree.
What other movies?
As above, so below.
Okay, I did watch that. Did you
Yeah,
watch
I thought
it?
it
Matt?
was. I thought it was pretty interesting.
That was a fun movie.
I wouldn't classify it as no. The last third of it was horror. I guess
It reminded me of The Descent, but with history.
Yeah, like they talk about alchemy, like riddles and stuff.
Nicholas Flamel.
Flamel, yeah. Like I said, Nicolas Cage. It's like, nah, we'll get there.
Nicholas Flamel, who's in Harry Potter.
They talk about that in the movie you guys are talking about?
Yeah.
They make
That's
reference to
also-
Harry
yeah.
Potter?
No, not Harry
the
Potter.
Philosopher's
He's
Stone.
an actual.
Oh.
He's an actual person.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
knew him from Harry Potter.
He's a real person.
Sorry, I'm having a Matt moment over
When
here.
what's her face?
Fun
Did not
fact.
create him.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was actually supposed to be called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone because it's about the Philosopher's Stone by Nicholas Flamel.
I believe in England it was released as the
Yes,
Philosopher's Stone.
it was. But
We're
still-
stupid because we're
But
American.
in America, yeah, we're dumb and we like to change things.
So
Yes. I think it's something to do with like I don't know, I'm sure if you're reading Harry Potter, it's all witchcraft, I guess.
So I didn't see this one. Was there anybody of note in it, or any?
No.
Is it
No
on? What's
famous
it on?
actors.
Okay, so
it's on
it takes
Netflix.
place. It's on Netflix. It takes place in like France, and like this woman's
It's in Paris in the catacombs.
Yeah, in the catacombs.
It's her search for the Philosopher's Stone. Like she's looking for the actual Philosopher's Stone. There's like a bunch of riddles. It's kind of like National Treasure meets Descent, I would say.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
Because there's like riddles and stuff, and then they go in the catacombs. They go like off the beaten path, and like it gets it's a slow burn, but when it gets there, it like stuff hits the wall. Like I actually was surprised. I thought I was going to hate it going in because everyone was talking about like how good it was.
It was kind of slow.
It was. I wouldn't call it it's a thriller. I really wish we can just categorize thrillers versus horror.
It's a supernatural thriller.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say... There's like maybe one part that I consider like scary, if you call it that. Like,
I like the effects.
The effects were good.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I recommend...
Well, there was that one random part where the telephone starts ringing down there.
That was creepy.
Oh, yeah, that part was pretty creepy because it was her dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, spoiler
because her
Matt.
dad like killed himself or something.
In the middle of the catacombs.
Spoiler Matt!
It was just a random
Oh
phone.
god damn it! I can't talk about it. Ruin it. Fuck.
I guess it's not that big of a spoiler.
Oh
but
man,
still.
I will have to say this. This is gonna ruin it, but I don't give a shit. Where
Okay.
the one guy gets like sucked into like
the
the
car?
ground. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
ground part. And you see his little fucking feet dangling there, like
They're just like, fuck it. We're gonna. He's good.
they're like, whatever. We'll just, he's fine.
Yeah, it's good. So, our usual rating. What would you? Do you want me to start off since I went last time? Does it matter?
Sure.
I'd give it a. You kind of said that like passive aggressively. Do you
do-
want me to go first?
We'll
or-
do all the things you want to do. You go ahead.
I would give it. I'm a little more harsh on movies than everyone else, but this one might be around you guys. I'd give it like a 7, 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Oh wow, that's a pretty
Wow.
good rating.
That is a
Yeah,
good rating.
now I really need to see it.
I would have to agree with you.
As a
on that
movie,
one.
not as a horror movie, I'd give it a different score as a horror movie. But as a movie as a whole,
What would you give it as a horror movie then? That's what I'm interested in.
like a 6. It's not quite as scary as. It's creepy.
There's some creepy parts to it.
but it's like split 50-50 between creepy and like I said, National Treasure kind of stuff. But
But
it's
without
good.
Nicolas Cage.
Without Nicolas Cage, which we'll get to because he's
I'm
he
giving it a
mentioned.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it overall. Like I said, 7. I'd say 7.
All right, I'll check it out then.
What about you, Matt? You haven't said a score. Just looking at me goofy like.
He hasn't
Spoiling.
seen that one either, so...
Spoilers. So it ends.
Yeah.
Oh, so indecisive, man.
Yeah.
So
I
next
give it like a
movie-
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was
You're
good,
going lower than I,
but,
man. I
yeah.
thought I was the critic. All right.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
Yeah.
So Roger Ebert over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger
Give it-
Ebert. How many? They can't see the thumbs.
One thumb up.
He's like
thumb
standing
up.
And I got the second one kind of.
He has a second one, like in the Colosseum when the emperors can't decide if it's a thumbs up or thumbs down.
It's Michael J. Fox and his other thumb.
Yeah.
Wish I had 2 extra thumbs so I get 4 thumbs down.
All right. The third movie,
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad,
I
starring.
didn't see that.
Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I forgot how hot Selma Blair.
Not bad.
She
Really?
she did things to me in what was that movie where she made out with Sarah Michelle Gellar? Cruel Intentions.
I never saw that one.
Oh, I love that movie.
That was my childhood.
Yeah.
I love that's kind of creepy. Anyway, I'll just say I like that scene where like they make out. So
Tim is currently looking at pictures
Yeah,
of
I just
someone
found.
naked.
I wanted to see what she looks like. I know this. She's from You've Got Mail.
you've got
With
mail.
Tom Hanks and Meg
Yeah,
Ryan.
'cause
She
we've
was one of the
seen
people
that.
in
That's how I know.
She was one of the people in the bookstore.
Selma
Anyway.
Blair's from You've Got Mail.
She was also in Faculty.
Is she the goth chick? No, who's she in the Faculty?
The goth chick, the weirdo chick.
That's her.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you're mistaken, sir.
Oh, maybe I am.
Anyway, I
But
thought
I could have
thought
sworn she was
Hold
in
on,
Faculty.
Hold on, we're not done talking about how hot Selma Blair is. She looks good for her age.
She's
which I
better looking than
assume-
Nev Campbell.
From now on, you just got to compare everyone to
Oh,
Nev Campbell.
that's what I'm doing.
It's like when you learn a new word, you got to use it. Like rigmarole.
I thought she did a great job in this film, though. She played the crazy role perfect because
So, how would you describe Mom and Dad? Brad? Why don't you give a description of it?
okay, so it starts off. You got these bratty teenagers, and then you find out the parents are starting to act weird, and they are starting to go after their own children and killing them, and nobody knows what's happening. The parents are just killing their kids.
Yeah, it's like I would call it like the crazies, kind of, but
Yeah, they're just going crazy, and nobody knows why.
Or, as I like to say, it's basically Nicolas Cage acting like Nicolas Cage.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't know why everyone's freaking out about Nicolas Cage. I'm like, he's just acting like himself, guys. Why are you running from him?
That's why I love this movie, because
Nicolas Cage gets a shine.
yeah,
It's like, holy shit, Nicolas Cage is crazy.
they put him in the perfect role, so they just they're like, hey,
I wasn't thinking of Selma
I think
Blair.
they made that movie for him.
Hold on. Matt's like 5 minutes behind.
No,
You weren't thinking of Selma Blair. Who were you thinking of? Let me see the
This-
picture.
We've
they
already-
look exactly alike.
They don't look anything alike.
They do.
They don't look anything alike.
Selma Blair and this chick.
Oh my god, I have no idea.
Matt shows a
why are we
picture of
doing
him.
this right
wow.
No,
I'm just
no,
like-
let's bring up the fact that Matt has like face blindness. They don't look anything alike at all. Different races, by the way.
So-
Different races. Hold on. Different races. We're not done. Different races. Selma Blair is not that race. She's white. Selma Blair is like
She's white.
Hispanic. Selma Blair is half Hispanic.
I don't know. What?
Great.
We're talking about a movie. What are we talking?
Well, Matt obviously hasn't seen the movie because he doesn't know who Selma Blair is.
No. Mom and Dad?
Yeah, you didn't
No.
watch it.
I didn't watch it.
God,
Okay.
What do you do with your time off?
So
Some of us have no lives.
this movie was unintentionally funny.
Yes.
Like,
No, it wasn't.
There
It was.
were
It
parts
was.
I was laughing my ass off.
Actually, I
and
looked
was
it
like,
up.
this isn't supposed to be funny right here. I'm pretty
It's a
sure.
dark comedy.
Oh, is
That's
it?
how it's labeled. Yeah.
So it is supposed to be funny.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it kind of ruins the magic for you, I'm sure.
But it was actually really intense in some spots.
Yeah.
I mean, the attack sequences.
The
and
whole
everything, it was-
ending where it's like when I don't want to ruin it, but there's like a big surprise kind of like
Oh, at the end.
not the very end. But you know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Well, you're talking about the cameo
The cameo.
of Lance Henriksen.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's
he is.
credited in the very beginning, so
Yeah.
it's not really a surprise.
I guess it's not a spoiler, but yeah, when he comes in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that part was great.
That was
I loved
great.
it.
It's
when,
a great.
When he comes in, it's fantastic.
The sequencing is great. I guess the best way to put this movie is Sawzall. How do you say it?
Sawzall.
Sawzall.
The thing about the Sawzall is it
Sawzall. If
It's
you watch
so
the movie,
cheesy.
Matt, you would get it.
Oh, okay.
Also, just to be clear, Selma Blair was not in You've Got Mail. I looked it up. There was some
And-
actress named Heather Burns.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
My
she
bad.
wasn't
Oh,
in faculty
My bad.
either.
I'm
Right.
sitting on the
That's
couch
my
with
bad,
Matt
too.
over here, and I'm absorbing the Matt genes.
Who's Nev Campbell? Who's Selma Blair? Who's
Well, I
John
know who Selma
Travolta?
Blair is.
Okay, so the next episode will be on the videography of Selma Blair.
Yeah. We're
right,
gonna break
goody.
down, we're
Can't
gonna break
wait.
down
I'll be
scene
sure
by
not to
scene
watch
the
all these
makeout
movies.
between Sarah Michelle Gellar and her. And Justin Timberlake. I don't know who the other guy is. He looks like Justin Timberlake. Anyway,
So should we see that one? What was it called again?
Mom and Dad.
Mom and
Okay,
Dad.
let's give a score. Again, it's like the Crazies, where parents are killing their children because there's like a static. It's
Yeah.
coming through the static or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
They only want to kill their children, though.
I'd give it probably a 7. I enjoyed it.
I'd give it a 6.5. It's a good movie. I'd say it's worth a watch. I mean, my 6.5 is like a Brad 9, so...
Yeah.
And like a Matt 4, because Matt apparently has the
Like I
highest
said,
standards in the world.
Heavily
Four
critical.
thumbs down.
Yeah, Matt, so what do you think about the movie you didn't watch?
I thought it was garbage.
Yeah.
Doo-doo butter. Doo-doo butter. It had Nicolas Cage in it.
Nicolas Cage.
That's a redeeming one for
And
me.
Selma Blair, which you know nothing about.
Yeah.
I know
in the
she's not in faculty.
Yeah, she's in the faculty, y'all. Like, are you sure? I don't remember Selma Blair being in the faculty.
Hey, faculty was pretty good.
You know what we need to do? We need to watch the faculty now for the next episode.
Yeah, I thought
Have you seen the
I like
faculty?
that movie.
I have not.
It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but like updated.
Okay.
You've never seen the faculty, really?
No.
Has a chick who played Jean Grey in the X-Men movies.
It has Elijah Wood in it too.
Okay.
No, not the one from Game of Thrones.
No, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, she's in it.
Does
She's a
not
teacher.
have Selma Blair in it.
Does not have some. Oh my god, I know. It's almost like.
Oh God.
Matt, do you even watch movies? Do you watch cinema?
Sometimes.
I know we just sat together and watched Carrie.
Clary. Clary was so good.
It's
Cassie.
It's Cassie.
But I'm sure like Matt's gonna surprise me and say something that was
With
not in the
Spacey,
movie.
with Spacey Stasek.
The Stissy Spacek.
Actually, speaking of Carrie and
Actually, Selma
faculty,
Blair was in Carrie.
Piper Laurie's in faculty.
Who's she?
Really?
Who played
She was
Carrie's
the
mom.
Yeah, I know she played Carrie's mom, not Matt. I mean, who is she?
We will be getting to that.
Okay, Brad.
She plays one of the teachers.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
ADD. That's like
that's our thing.
We warn people we have ADD.
Oh, and she was also in Twin Peaks.
But I feel like I'm the only one that's focused here.
Well, that's an issue.
I got everybody started looking stuff up because I got my laptop right next to me.
Now that Tim brought his magical box that has access to something called the internet.
How did you get my Wi-Fi?
You gave it to me.
All right. Is there any other movies? I feel like there's one more besides Carrie that we watched.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Maybe I will. Oh yeah, you told me to watch Apostle, but I didn't watch it yet. Probably next episode.
I watched Apostle.
Oh,
you watched Apostle, but you didn't watch Mom and Dad like you're supposed to?
No, because Mom and Dad look bad.
Matt plays by his own rules.
Yeah. Well, I hope you can remember 2 weeks from now or a week from now when we do our next episode.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about Apostle.
Because when you guys talk about Apostle, I'm going to talk about Mom and Dad because I will watch it now.
Just all over the place. All right. We'll watch Apostle for next week's episode. Do you want to go on to the... Because I can tell Brad is really upset that we're talking about stuff.
I have one quick piece of news.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if this is interesting to everybody. This show is coming back, and I am super excited about it. It's called... They announced the third season of True Detective. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen the first two seasons.
I've seen the first 2 seasons.
The first season was super creepy. It's not jump scare scary, but it's lots of like cult killings.
Woody
and stuff.
Harrelson was in the first season.
Woody Harrelson and McConaughey, and they've signed on as executive producers again. They were executive producers of the second season. But January 13th, Sunday night at 9, it's on HBO. I'm excited about that one. That's going to be good.
Do you remember when Rachel McAdams ruined it with her season?
No,
I remember when the entire storyline of that ruined it. Not necessarily Rachel
yeah,
McAdams.
I guess it's not fair to her. She's just a terrible actress.
I have not seen that show, but I have seen one scene from the first season that matters. I feel like.
Oh,
You ruined it for yourself.
A certain
Alexander
actress.
Daddario.
Yeah.
Oh,
Woody
no, I know,
Alexander Daddario.
yeah. No, that's a great scene.
That's
actually.
worth watching.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's our first time being nude on anything, really. Which is like, why it take so long? What's she ashamed of?
She was straight up nude.
Great scene.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, January 13th. I can't wait.
January 13th. All right, I'm
I'll
going to
have to watch
pick that up.
Yeah.
The other thing we should probably mention if you haven't seen True Detective is you don't really necessarily have to watch previous seasons. It's like
Each season self-contained. Like
Yeah.
It's one story each season. Kind of like American Horror Story.
Yeah, that's a good example. Which we will do in the future. Oh my God, Brad's thinking of it. I can see it in his eyes. You're thinking of that scene.
But Alexander Daddario?
Yeah, you're looking up.
caught
You're
up in
looking
the
up, and
scene.
you're like,
It was a good scene.
Jesus, like staring out the nowhere, smiling.
Why don't we all just take a minute and think about the scene?
I haven't seen the scene.
Oh man,
Oh my
let's
God,
pull it
man.
up. No.
Yeah, pull it up.
Pull it up.
Let's watch it.
We'll watch it together.
We'll have a live video feed of us watching it. It will get weird.
Oh man, I don't know what to
A
expect.
future.
I'm excited.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who
we
she
were all
is?
excited when we watched
Yeah.
it.
You know who Alexander Daddario
Yeah.
is? Yeah, she's naked.
Oh, she's naked.
You're just getting this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
You
like
guys were just talking about the
she's-
scene. Like,
Oh!
it's the scene.
No, she gets
scene.
naked.
she handcuffs Woody
Oh.
Harrelson up, and then
Welcome to the
it
party, man.
goes from there.
welcome to 2014.
Doesn't mention she got naked.
Zach literally just mentioned that.
I just
Yeah.
said that.
Just
I said,
now.
that was
No.
He said that was her
Oh.
first nude scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said, what you have to be ashamed of? What were you?
I was elsewhere. I
He's,
guess.
he's
What?
thinking about other boobs.
Yeah.
He's thinking about Sissy Spacek.
We'll get to Stacey Spisick. Whatever her name is. She starred in Sybil?
Sally Field. That was my bad from earlier.
We'll get to there. Let's move on to the topic at hand, and that is Carrie, right? That's the whole
Yes,
introduction we did.
Carrie.
Oh my God, was I supposed to read that?
Yeah,
Oh.
I totally didn't read it either. So we're just talking about the movie we watched. So let's talk about the book first before we talk about the movie.
The hot garbage.
That
That was the movie.
You didn't like the movie?
No, the movie was good. I liked it.
well-
You just like to say hot garbage.
Yeah,
I do.
Were you trying to work that into a conversation naturally?
I feel like that's been said in every episode so
No,
far.
I just-
Or that or dumpster fire.
I just assume that any Stephen King movie is going to be just terrible.
Unless
compared
it's
to the
not
book.
a horror movie, like
Yeah.
The Green Mile,
Shawshank,
Stand By Me.
Yeah.
Langoliers I liked, and even though that was a TV miniseries. But We have to have the episode just on Stephen King.
Yeah.
We have to.
Well, you should just do it
Once
on
you've
different
read a few
Stephen King
more.
stuff.
We
I
have
mean, you
the
can
book
do it.
club.
You can do another one on The Shining for sure.
Ooh, hold on. If you've made it this far through our rambling, next book we'll announce what we're going to read. Why don't you read along with us? If you want, like, you can read for the next episode we do this, so they can kind of join in and they can like talk about it like on Facebook and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And if you can't read, just get it on Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
throwing
what-
out a lot of plugs right now. I need
Yeah.
to stop. Somebody needs to sign a check before I keep plugging everybody.
I've already got The Stand. Or not the, I'm sorry, not The Stand. Salem's Lot.
Okay, I need
You
to read.
guys told me to read The Stand, but I've already got Salem's Lot. Would you guys be down to do that?
Yeah, we do Sam's.
Yeah, I gotta get it first though.
Okay.
I read it way back in like middle school. You know, you're catching up to Zach 15 years ago. So
All right. Well, you
20
can,
years
you
ago.
can
Oh my
read
God,
that
I'm
in,
old.
what, 2 hours?
Yeah, really.
So...
Brad's upset because I read a book at a normal pace.
You're the Usain Bolt of reading, dude.
I read the book.
You read Carrie in an hour and a half.
Yeah, about. No, I just read
Everybody who's listening is like, that's crazy. No, you're the only one who thinks that's normal.
20 minutes. I read 20 to 25 minutes a night from Monday through Friday, and I was done. 300 pages, but it's not like 300 full pages.
All right.
All right, maybe you guys read slow. Maybe I read normal speed.
I like to absorb what I'm reading.
I absorbed it better than Brad will ever absorb it.
I mean, I read it 3,000 words a second, but I
Let's
never
have
understand a word
let's
I
have an
read,
absorb.
so-
Let's have an absorb off. See who absorbed the book better.
All right. Absorb off. Go.
Cassie was her name,
Cassie, what's your name?
and Mortimer the Morterson was the principal.
Sybil was there somewhere.
Yeah, Sybil Shepherd,
And Selma Blair.
and whoever this woman named Nev Campbell is. So okay,
Whoever
the
that
book. If you've never heard of Carrie, what are you doing? First off, I mean, I know we just read it and we're at a age where we should have read it before.
Yeah. I just watched the movie for the first time.
I watched it like the TV version, which, man, was I missing out. The TV version cuts out the best parts. We'll talk about that, definitely. And like that's all we're going to talk about.
I'm sure no one could read into that.
Okay, the book.
Matt has no idea what we're talking about, by the way. 'cause,
Even though we just watched together, Matt was in Matland.
Elsewhere.
Thinking about Nev Campbell and Selma Blair from The Faculty. So if you've never heard of Carrie, again, what are you doing? It's a girl that goes to prom and has psychic powers. I mean, that's the gist. Like, and stuff happens. She's not very nice with her psychic powers.
well, not in that order.
No, not in that
She
order.
has psychic powers and then ends up going to prom.
She's not very nice with her powers, but some might say righteously so. I mean, everybody's not very nice to her, too.
All right, let's talk.
There's not very many redeeming characters
Yeah.
in the book or the movie.
Well,
for
let's
that
talk
matter.
about the most important part of the movie. Or the book, I should say. The first 50 pages is on... BJ?
Menstruation.
Menstruation, right?
Menstruation.
And we are, obviously, as men, we can talk about this and understand the intricacies of menstruation.
Well, Tim's been through it, obviously.
Yeah. Tell us about your first time you having the menses.
It brought the bears. The bears came. They can smell it.
So,
I
Smell the menstruation.
I seriously felt bad for her while I was reading the book. Like, why would other girls treat her like
do you
that?
know nothing about girls?
I mean, I know they're horrible.
It was the
Oh my
70s,
God.
Brad.
It was a different time. When did you write this? 76? It was like...
74, I think,
74.
when it was published. But I felt so bad for her. Like, they've all been through that, and they're treating her like that.
Well, no, because
Because she started so late.
yeah, she started so late. Like
They
they
thought
didn't
she
know.
was dying.
They didn't know that she. Like they thought she was just being weird or whatever. They didn't realize that this was her. Like even Miss. How do you say her name? Desjardins.
Disjordan.
Disjardins.
Miss Disjardins.
She didn't even know that. Like she thought Carrie was being hysteric. She didn't realize. It didn't dawn on her that Carrie had never had a period before.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you listening, she was taking a shower after the gym, and during the shower she gets her period for the first time, and she's what 16, 17?
She's 17, I believe.
16. It says 16 on Wikipedia, but I don't know.
Well, Wikipedia's wrong, so...
Yeah, obviously Brad's a much more reliable source than that. So, and she has it for the first time, which I know Brad. It's complicated for Brad because he doesn't understand how women work, but it happens a little earlier than that, just a wee bit.
Uh-huh.
Like when you're 6, right?
Between 6 and 60, somewhere in
Somewhere in there, and between like 30 and 79, it stops. So, she's in the shower at 17, and all of a sudden she starts 16.
Sorry.
Well, Brad said 17, so I have to believe him over
All right,
Wikipedia.
she's 17, whatever.
She's 17. Brad said
I
it.
mean, I just read the book. I'm just saying.
I absorb it better. just like those pads they all threw at Carrie. Jeez. So she discovers herself in the shower. She discovers she's bleeding in the shower, and she thinks she's dying because she has no idea what a period is. Like, at all. Not just like the fact that it's her first time having one. She didn't even know that a period's existed,
Her
apparently.
mom never told her.
Nope.
We should probably talk about the
fucked up.
mom in a second.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, so the girls tease her for this because, you know, she's bleeding. She said she's dying, and they're all throwing, like, tampons at
Tell her
her.
to plug it up.
Yeah. And they all tease her, including a normally okay student, which is Sue Snell, who, by the way, is the true villain of the story. We'll get to that.
Okay.
And what a ridiculous name, Sue Snell.
Yeah.
Really?
Who said Sue Smell? Which one of you?
I did.
Very
Sue
You were
Smell.
the best bully in high school, but instead you were bullied. Okay, Skull. So let's talk about the mom because she's teased, but why didn't she know what a period was?
Because mom is super religious, like fanatical,
Yeah.
to the point of being crazy, and never told her because she thought it was when you bleed,
sin.
it means you're a sinner, and she was hoping, I guess, Carrie would never bleed, so she would never sin or whatever. But
Because the boys come slobbering,
Yeah.
as she says, when the blood comes. First the blood, then the boys.
They can smell it like
can
bears.
smell it, yeah.
the mom, played by Piper Laurie in the movie, fantastically played. I mean, she does. I think, in my opinion, she's the best actress in the movie. I
She
mean,
really gets that
does-
religious.
She's creepy, and
She
she's
gets
I
the
thought-
religious zealot.
I thought Sassy Spaceship did a really good job.
I mean, she does a great job too, and they were both nominated for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress at the 49th Academy Awards, according to Wikipedia again. But
I love that Wikipedia.
no, I think she did a very convincing job of being.
Tim is just staring
crazy.
at his computer, just reading off facts.
You know,
It's actually pronounced Wikipedia.
flipping between that and booze.
So yeah, the mother's crazy. That's the best way to put it. She's crazy religious.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, well, she locks Carrie in a closet.
Yeah.
Whenever she perceives Carrie as sinning, which turns out is pretty much everything. Everything Carrie does is a sin.
She is projecting her own sins onto Carrie.
Oh, deep.
no.
Wrong, but deep.
Well,
Wrong, but deep.
You mean she sees Carrie as her sin because obviously she says fornication is a sin, and yet
Yeah.
Carrie exists.
she's projecting her own. What do you say?
Shame?
Shame. Yes.
She's
upon
shame-jecting.
Carrie.
She's shame-jecting.
Yes.
All right.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Yes. No, I'm gonna drink some of my 40 now. The classiest of drinks.
He's not joking.
Mickey's.
He's drinking a Mickey's right now. Great.
But so I mean, you know, that's Carrie, that's the mom, and then moving on. I mean, all the girls who were the whole bathroom scene, the girls get in trouble, and that's where the story kind of really takes off because of the main antagonist, Chris, which is a girl in the book and the movie, short for Christine. Yeah.
Can we all agree that the main protagonist is Disjardin? The way she slaps the fuck out of Chris.
And
It's like,
Carrie,
you don't do that!
and Carrie, and I'm sure someone else.
Well, Carrie toward the end was not necessarily the protagonist.
You
No,
can
I'm
make
talking
an
about
argument.
slapping Carrie. She slaps Carrie in the shower.
No, well, yeah, because she was hysterical.
Yeah, remember she said that she would never admit it, but she actually enjoyed it?
Oh.
I absorbed the book better.
Somehow in an hour and a half. How's that possible?
I just did it before I went to bed. From 9:30 to like 9:55 to 10 o'clock. I
gotta finish.
I have to be in bed by 10. I'm old.
But
You read 5,000 words in 20 minutes.
So all the girls, you know, get in trouble for throwing the sanitary napkins and stuff at Carrie and humiliating her.
Yeah.
And they have to go to detention, but Chris says, "No, I ain't going." And so she gets her prom stuff.
Yeah,
or
she
is
gets
that-
revoked. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. She gets suspended, and because she gets suspended, she can't go to prom.
and
She's
she
being a
blames
badass.
Carrie for everything, basically.
Yeah, instead of taking, because she's a teenager, instead of taking responsibility, since she was the one who instigated in the first place, the teasing and all that, she didn't want to have to serve her time, so she thought her dad would just sue his way out.
Ooh, another thing. Are we talking about the difference in the movie yet? Because a big difference is her dad doesn't even show up in the movie.
True.
Yeah,
The
that's
lawyer.
true. Yeah, we can talk about the differences. Like, why not? Why not?
We got time.
The movie, for the most part, was pretty faithful to the book.
It was.
For the most part, there's a few like major changes, like We'll get to that near the end.
Yeah.
Like I said from the beginning, I think the major changes is that the way the kills happen are different, somewhat different
There's
in the
a lot
movie.
less killing in the movie
yes.
than the book.
Yeah.
Well, after the blood happens, after the blood gets poured on her,
Yeah.
which I feel like I'm just jumping ahead.
You're jumping way ahead, but yes.
Yeah, that was like a quarter of the book was after that.
Yeah, and like in the movie, it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, well, it's a little longer, but because they draw out the ending scene. But, okay, so Chris, the person who instigates this whole thing, is not allowed to go to prom. And so obviously she blames Carrie for this. And so she wants to get revenge on Carrie. Meanwhile, Sue Snell, the villain of the story... no.
Zach keeps claiming that Sue Snell is the villain. I'm disagreeing, but he's got arguments. I mean,
I got arguments.
She's not that bad.
We'll get to why she's bad.
I feel like her intentions were good, but she may have had something to do with why everybody died.
She is good for selfish reasons.
What's the delicate way of saying this? Plowing Tommy in the car. When she decides to spring on Tommy, hey, I'm going to pimp you out. You're going to take Carrie to the prom. Because I feel bad for what I did, and I'm selfish that way.
Tommy's like, what am I, a piece of meat?
Actually, in the book, compared to the movie, Tommy's a lot more like kind in the book. Because
Tommy's like,
yeah, he was okay with it.
He was like the number one guy.
Well,
he was like the most athletic. He was the nicest guy.
The big man on campus.
Yeah.
And
like everyone loved Tommy.
He's the one who kind of he didn't guilt Sue Snell, but he goes, you should apologize to her for what you did. And like
being the good guy.
Yeah, and Sue was like almost upset that Tommy made her feel bad for her bullying this girl. So Tommy is Sue's boyfriend, and in order to make up what she did to Carrie, she knows Carrie has a crush on Tommy, and she goes, "Why don't you take Carrie to the prom? It's a nice way to get her out of her shell because she's always quiet and all that." And so she pimps out her boyfriend. That's number one reason why she's a villain. Number two, she does this for selfish reasons, not to actually help Carrie, but because she wants to alleviate the guilt she feels.
Yeah.
All right. And look, you cannot deny the fact that this sets into motion, because Carrie, if she had just minded her own business, Carrie would have never went to prom.
Yes. That was the domino that started the chain of events.
And a lot more people would be alive, including Tommy. The good guy.
Sinister way to say Tommy.
If that didn't happen, we wouldn't have a book. So
that's true. So Sue Snell's really the hero. I do want to talk about one thing the book does a little different, and I know Brad was confused at first, and I kind of see why. Like randomly throughout the book, they have like snippets of another book.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what confused me? The book was written in 1974. The story takes place in 1979. And then in between telling the story, they have snippets from articles,
like academic journals
from
and all
the
that.
80s, looking back on the events after prom.
Yeah, it's like you'll be reading, and all of a sudden they'll say an excerpt from The Shadow Explodes page, to whatever, and then you're reading like Carrie White's childhood, like they're analyzing Carrie.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out telekinesis. And
it's kind of a unique way of building the world.
Yeah.
And foreshadowing.
Absolutely. I thought it was a really interesting way. It was confusing to read it at start, but for Stephen King's first novel, it was very unique.
Well, there's probably a reason why eventually he would take off and become one of the more...
Yeah. I thought it was the most unique read.
Also, it was very interesting style of writing.
Side note, his first novel, which was published in 1974, the movie, 1976.
Yeah.
So it only took 2 years for them to be like, yeah, we should make this into a movie.
Yeah.
It
didn't take long.
It probably, obviously exploded because it snowballs into Stephen King writing a bunch of novels afterwards, and his name's on the, everyone's mind.
But so, back to Carrie. Tommy asks her to prom. She reluctantly says no a couple times, and then finally says yes. Meanwhile, Chris is planning the blood that Brad was referring to earlier, the pig blood.
The pig blood, yeah, because what does Billy keep saying? Pig blood for the pig.
Pig blood for the pig.
Played by John Travolta in the movie.
John Travolta in the movie, yeah.
Killing it.
John Tim, why don't you do your line? What's your
fabulous hair? Guys, it's me, John Travolta. Gotta get some pig blood. Hey.
That's literally all he says in the entire movie. So,
But yeah, so yeah, they're gonna dump pig blood on her at the prom, and they rig it so that her and Tommy win prom king and queen.
Well, in the movie they rig it. In the
movie
book,
they rig it.
they start rumors like saying, "Oh, you should definitely vote for." But it's still close.
It's a long con in the book.
They had to do a revote.
A recount because it was tied
between two couples, and then they ended up winning by one.
Yeah, ironically, because Carrie's like, "Don't vote for us" to Tommy, and because Tommy's being a gentleman, he's like really trying to show her a good time and all this at the prom.
He wanted her to experience the full thing, and he's like, "I'm going to vote for us,"
and they win by one vote, and this is going to be. This is what's going to set up this entire chain of dominoes to fall, because the night before, Billy, Chris's boyfriend, rigged 2 buckets full of pig's blood up in the rafters.
2 buckets.
2 buckets in the movie.
In the movie, it's only one.
Brad pointed out like 20 times.
There's supposed to be 2.
And
wasn't enough blood for Brad.
Wasn't enough blood.
There wasn't enough budget in the movie to have 2 buckets.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the main differences are coming up, because once the blood falls, that's when like all the huge differences happen in the movie.
Yes.
So it's rigged to go off, and then they win by 1 vote, and Tommy and Carrie go up to accept their reward, being king and queen of the prom, and that's when Chris pulls the string to knock the buckets over and embarrass Carrie in front of everyone. The famous scene everyone knows, thanks to Skissy Spacek. I'm just looking at me, Brad. You want to talk about it?
You talking about Saucy Skillet?
Saucy Skillet, yeah. What happens after the blood hits?
Well, she starts going crazy, and the book says that she starts running.
She runs out of the prom.
She starts running out of the prom,
crying because she's covered in blood.
At one point, the gym teacher runs at her trying to comfort her, and she throws her against the wall with her mind powers, and runs outside, and then shuts all the doors and leaves everyone in there.
At this point in the book, her telekinetic powers are like she's almost Super Saiyan. Like she's getting pretty powerful.
Well, they mention in the book that she called down like stones from the sky to and it destroyed the house almost when her mom was like chasing her around with like a butcher knife because she accidentally spied on the neighbor sunbathing.
Movie played a lot of the superpower of the telekinetic powers up, but not as much as the book.
The book really focuses on her almost training her mind to become more powerful.
Yeah, she was sitting in a room like making things levitate.
Yeah, in the movie they don't really. It's kind of like almost a side thing. Like they really kind of ignore they don't ignore it, but like they don't mention so much her ability to move things with their mind so much.
It's just the fact it's there.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's covered in pig's blood. She runs out of the gymnasium. Everyone's laughing, and all of a sudden, her anger. She's had this like anger kind of boiling up throughout the book.
Well, she's been bullied her whole life.
Yeah, but like she keeps on saying like she likes to do things like she makes this kid fall over on his bike or whatever. And
by the way, we barely touch on her mom. How much her mom.
Crazy mom.
Crazy ass mom.
Just punishes her for no reason.
Her mom, like, yeah.
I mean, that's
fanatic.
It's
she's a religious fanatic. She's crazy.
We mentioned it, but it's like a huge thing about how
much the mom doesn't want her to go to prom and
stuff. She keeps her in the closet, and she keeps telling her how much she sins, and she's an absolute nightmare.
She tells her at one point that only women who have boobs are the ones who have sinned. Like she says,
the dirty pillows.
Dirty pillows. Like only those who sin have dirty pillows.
Every time I hear that, I think of Austin Powers.
Just makes me want to go
dirty
to sleep.
Pillows.
Does he say that? In Austin
Yeah.
Powers?
Oh, he totally said it.
So
That's the second one.
Yeah, the mom's definitely like
the main antagonist.
Yeah, main antagonist, I'd say. So anyway,
dirty bitch.
So she locks everyone into the gymnasium.
Dirty pillows.
Using her mind power, she locks everyone in the gymnasium and makes it rain through the sprinklers.
Mayhem.
And Brad, you were at first you're like, why in the fuck is she making it rain? And the sprinklers, and then
but she realized there's a bunch of sound equipment all over the place, and it's still on because that they weren't prepared for a sprinkler attack.
Yeah. I just realized we didn't mention what happened to poor Tommy. because he was an innocent in all this. Like he was trying to do right by her.
Poor Tommy got hit in the head with the second bucket.
Yeah.
Yep.
That wasn't in the movie.
He just got hit in the head with the first bucket in the movie.
And at first no one realizes, they think it just knocks him down, but it's because the pig's blood hadn't completely emptied, so it's still somewhat full, and it hits him with a full force, and it kills him. Not instantly, but like he gets knocked out and he eventually dies of blood loss or blunt force trauma.
Brain contusions.
Yeah. So Tommy is killed from that.
And silly Sputnik didn't even notice.
Yeah, silly Sputnik.
Sputnik?
In the movie.
Oh my gosh, his names are getting crazy.
Doesn't even notice it. So in the book, she closes, locks everyone in, makes it rain, uses the electrical equipment, and pretty much shocks a bunch of people, and then sets the place on fire.
People start grabbing wires. In the book, electrical wires started like snapping and like hitting people, and I mean the whole place just became
mayhem.
An electrical
party
trap.
Party was electrifying.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it was electric. So totally hectic.
They should have been playing the electric slide while they
and
was
the
all going
band
on.
started grooving, and they all stopped moving.
Yeah.
Sweet, come on.
Oh, I know the song.
It was a ballroom blitz,
good
guys.
song.
The entire scene was a ballroom blitz.
So the whole place went lit up in fire.
And then eventually she.
Oh, so the party was lit?
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Don't do that.
that. I hate that word. Go on.
Eventually, she starts setting shit on fire, like making the gas mains blow up and stuff. And she makes the
By she, do you mean Spicy Sarlacc?
spicy sarlacc pit. Yeah.
I've got a list.
Oh my god. He made a list of mispronounced Stacy Spisick. So anyway, in the book, she goes around. The school eventually blows up because there's like a propane tank or a gas.
There's a gas tank next to the school that ended up blowing up the whole school.
It blows up the whole school. And
During this, she's walking around town and she's making power lines fly off.
She's killing like
She's just
streets of
raging.
people.
She's pulling out gas
This is
lines
not
from
in
the
the
gas
this is
stations.
not in the movie. In the movie, she
No.
doesn't go crazy on the town, just the school. And in the book, she goes crazy on the entire town.
Yeah, the movie ends where she burns down the school, supposedly. They
Then
don't
she
even
goes home.
touch on what else happens, and then she goes home.
In the book, she's like rampaging on her way home.
Yeah, she goes home and she kills her mother.
Oh, let's skip a. Her mom tries to kill her.
That's a
Her
hop,
mom,
skip,
her
hop
mom,
and a skip away
her
from what we
mom
were saying,
tries to
but
kill her because her mom thinks her mom's like, I should have killed myself when I was pregnant with you.
it's really the climax of the book and the movie. It's you'd think it's the prom and everything, but really I feel it's the interaction between Carrie and her mom near the end.
The very end, the mom has a butcher knife ready, waiting. She's waiting, just sitting in the kitchen, waiting for her to come home so she can kill Carrie. Yeah. Carrie, meanwhile, the book kind of hints that she kind of knew Carrie was going to kill the mom, but maybe not. I don't know. The book kind of teeters, but she goes towards the mom.
Well, in the book, Carrie also has low-grade telepathic powers where she can read minds and stuff and communicate with people without talking.
Everyone's thinking the same word. Carrie. It's like over and over. It's all people could think about.
That's one thing I loved about the book, how they had an inner monologue with the characters.
That's every Stephen King book, though, man. He is so good at getting you in the mind of every character, whether it's a good guy or a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's brilliant at that.
So, she goes home. The mom's waiting for her with her butcher knife. And in the last second, Carrie gets sees it and gets an inkling that her mom's trying to kill her. Is able to deflect the blade as it goes into her shoulder. Carrie decides to kill the mom. And in a great way. How does she kill the mom?
Just stops that heart. Just slows it on down.
Oh, that was so
Using her
brutal.
telekinesis, she just squeezes on the heart and slows it down. She says, Mama, you can go sleep.
She went to sleep.
It's not time.
Yeah. Movie a little different. Movie, it's the flying knives.
Yeah.
She just
Stick
stabbed
her
the
against
shit
the wall.
out of her in
Yeah.
the movie.
So, like I said, kills in the book a little different than in the movie, but still she dies. I mean,
she dies, and then she goes in the book. She's wandering with the knife wound.
Yeah,
it's almost an homage to being crucified a little bit because the mom in the movie at least looks like
the mom was
she's
in
hanging
Jesus.
there.
But the movie ends there.
The movie ends there, but she leaves the house in the book.
She kills her mom. She takes her mom into the closet, and the house collapses.
In the movie, it ends with the house collapsing.
In the movie. In the book, she walks away. She's
She
like,
walks
all right,
away.
killed my mom. I got other business
She's
to
mortally
take care
wounded,
of.
but she walks out of the house.
She walks out of the house to go to like a Texaco station.
Yeah, it's some
or a
kind of.
bar?
Stephen King
No,
loves
it was
to
a-
talk about Texaco stations, so I'm sure it was probably some kind of.
It was a bar.
It was a bar.
Was it a bar?
It was abandoned though. It was just only people were
No,
there
there was a
were
band playing and shit.
okay. They were up in the rap.
Yeah, because they said that the band was playing so loud they didn't hear the explosions going on.
Okay, but they were upstairs alone because it was Chris.
It was
and
Chris and
Billy.
that were upstairs.
Yeah, doing stuff.
What were they
doing
doing?
stuff.
I don't
Is that
know.
what the kids call it these
what they
days?
call it.
What do teenagers do
Play with their
alone in
dirty
the dark?
pillows.
And then they realize that something's going on. They go out of the bar, and these are the people who started this all, and they get in their car and are driving. They see Carrie. They're starting to hear
They turn the car
Carrie.
on.
Yeah.
They turn the car on.
Oh,
They see
she's
Carrie.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, they start driving at it. They're like, oh, let's just run her over. And then she just,
Flips the car,
yeah, she turns the car right at the building and they slam into it.
and killing both of them.
Yeah.
Which also happened in the movie. It happens before she gets back to her house. But I thought, for 1976, good effect for
Yeah,
the movie.
definitely.
They had that car flip, and they had it explode and everything. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
For 76.
Not only, yeah, I loved how they flipped it, and then she looks at the car again, and then it explodes. Like, oh, she just made that car explode with her mind.
She wasn't done yet. That wasn't good enough.
I want those powers.
So that with all their
I
tormentors,
hope you don't get them.
Yeah,
If
seriously.
that's what you're going to do.
Oh, he's gonna kill people with your powers? You're trying right now. He's looking
I
at you.
am. your head will explode.
We'll see who wins.
God damn it.
All right. Well, this is great for the audio-based format again.
Yeah, me and Brad just staring at each other lovingly. So the book ends with Carrie killing the last of her tormentors, bleeding, lying on her side in this like parking lot, and she thinks to herself,
I just want to see the stars.
In that tone of voice,
and that's
too.
I just want to see the stars.
Like Krusty the Clown voice in her head.
Meanwhile, Sue Snell, who didn't go to prom, locates Carrie, and sees her dying on her side, and she realizes that Carrie's trying to turn on her back. So Sue puts her on her back so she can see the stars. And during this time, Carrie like telepathically links with Sue, and she can hear what Carrie's thinking and vice versa. And they have a conversation, like she's talking about how not apologizing, but her mama and all this, and looking at the stars and why did it have to happen and all this. Jesus Christ.
I thought it had dramatic effect.
All the while, the important thing is Carrie's dying. And Sue is telepathically linked to Carrie as she dies. And so she feels the death of Carrie. Like, she basically witnesses what death is like. And that pretty
Which
much...
was pretty fucked up.
It really she talks about it fucks her up for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Because she explains it. How'd she explain it?
She feels like she knows what it's like to die now, basically.
Yeah,
It's
like a
nothingness.
candle.
I remember specifically it was like watching a candle slowly go down a dark hallway and then just go out.
And as she's talking to her psychically, she starts to hear static. Because she's dying.
Yeah.
Carrie's dying and dead.
She can hear her thoughts and then she just stops talking.
Yeah. And so that really screws her up. So I guess she kind of gets what she deserves in the end.
Yeah.
Sue.
I mean, she ends up killing like...
You hate Sue,
I
man.
hate Sue.
You really do.
She sets the whole thing in motion, not willingly, but, she gets away with it.
But Carrie ends up killing like 400 and some people in the town.
And then
the entire town, they said after...
the book goes
afterwards,
into after. It's called Aftermath.
Yeah.
Or Wreckage. It's called Wreckage.
There was like 400 some people that died, and the town never recovered from that.
They call it like a ghost town, essentially. Like, everyone started moving away. Like, businesses essentially closed down. The school is all but empty.
Like,
it was destroyed.
nobody wanted to even try to rebuild the town at all. They just gave up.
Now, conversely, I'm sorry, were you about to say something else about the book?
No, I was about to wrap it up, but go ahead.
Conversely, the movie ends with a very iconic scene. I mean, I know a lot of people back in my dad talks about how this is one of the scariest scenes he'd ever seen. First of all, it's Sue in a dream sequence walking towards the busted up house of the Whites.
Went underground and all
yeah,
that. Sucked
it's
underground.
got all sorts of rubble and stuff there.
That's an
and it
iconic
says,
scene.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't alive when it came
What
out.
do you know
but
about icons?
Well, Zach even mentioned, he's like, oh, that's just a classic 70s, 80s horror movie. You gotta add
Or
that,
they don't end it.
that extra little
I think it was like the first one though.
jump
Yeah.
scare.
Yeah.
That was before. Was that before Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
76.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's walking towards the house with flowers. It's very dream sequence like. In fact, they actually filmed the scene in reverse. If you look in the background, you see cars
There was a
driving
car going
backwards. Yeah.
backwards.
So they're actually showing you it in reverse. And when she's walking, she actually walked backwards in real life. But Carrie's hand comes out of the ground and grabs her. And apparently that was like a super huge scare. Nobody expected
Yeah.
that to happen.
I mean, it kind of reminded me of, and again, this takes place before Nightmare on Elm Street, but it kind of reminded me of the ending of Nightmare on Elm Street in a way,
Yeah.
where she's in a dream. Get out of my dreams. Into
It's
my
back
car.
up. Who's that? Billy Ocean? Or who is it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have no idea. You go look it up. Okay.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Power of
Play
the
it
internet.
For our
So-
listeners.
So the book and the movie, both good in their own ways.
The movie followed the book pretty closely.
Yeah. For the most part.
Um,
Till the end, till like the
didn't
last
have-
part.
Billy Ocean.
All right.
Like I
Sorry.
said, it
God.
didn't have a lot of the major ending,
Yeah, like the wreckage, the destroying the town
Yeah.
didn't have. It just had the school
which
and
was
the
my
mom.
favorite part. It was just
I
her
agree.
walking around, just fucking shit.
Yeah,
up.
like she tears down power lines and takes out like everyone in the street essentially because they're all like staring at her.
They had one of those little snippets from a report someone said later.
Yeah.
How they were trying to get to the school after they found out it was burning down. It was like one of the mothers, and she was with someone else. And power lines started falling, and people were just being electrocuted and just like turning to dust and shit on the street. And it's, oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Electric slide.
Overall, great movie. Also, the beginning of the movie has
We saved
Because
the
the
beginning of the movie
minstrel
for the end.
Are we gonna go into that?
no. We won't go into it. Let's just say Chissy Spisick has a nude scene.
It's
Very-
pretty
yeah.
stacked.
Lots of just what I felt was unnecessary nudity. It is a girls' locker room, but I said girls don't just run around naked in their locker room.
You don't
There's a
know.
lot- I mean, I don't know. I don't know,
Hey, if
but
it's
not
Tom
just-
Green telling a story in Road Trip, they do.
they do.
They don't just run around. They run around slow mo.
Yeah.
Slow mo.
It was like a good 10-minute scene.
Yeah.
Like much longer than necessary.
The director, if it was a male director, or if it was just a director that was interested in women, had fun filming that scene.
All right.
I was very surprised that we got to see Slappy Spandex's titties.
Slappy spandex.
First off, Sybil Shepherd. Second off,
Sally
Full
Field.
list.
Sippy Star Trek,
you try to get them all out before we wrap up this segment.
Salty Specific.
Yeah, longest segment ever.
How
by
many
the way.
more do you
Yeah,
have?
seriously. All right. We did forget to review one thing. We'll just go quickly through it. We went to a haunted trail.
Oh yes,
All four of us
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I went to that.
They call it Dayton Scream Park. It used to be called
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Valley Street.
Valley Street.
That's a movie, my friend.
I was there.
Which beer you on, buddy?
Okay, so we went to this. The line to get in was
Long.
Super, like crazy
No,
long.
the line wasn't long. The line was slow.
Yeah, both. All the bad things about a
No,
line.
I've seen longer lines.
well. You guys had it
was
lucky.
slow.
Do you remember how what my problem was? I had to go. My stomach was killing me. I had to poo, and there was like no like. And like okay, I just wait. Until we get to the attraction, and like because we're only like two rows away, and all of a sudden, it took like an hour and a half to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He felt the rumbles and grumbles.
I did. I tried to go in the porta potty at one point, and my body's like, "No, Zach, there's no way you're going."
so
to
you
this
just
porta
held
potty."
it through the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I texted.
No, he ended up shit in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I slipped in it.
I texted BJ. I texted BJ on the way. Like I was driving home. And I got home like that was a barn burner
Oh yeah,
because he
It was a
didn't.
photo finish.
Yeah, it was close. Like I was the entire time I was doing that little like.
Vibrating with
Yeah.
the pressure.
Start
So-
coming out as you're pulling your pants down.
So that's all I can
Lifted off
remember.
the toilet
All I
seat.
can remember about the Scream Park was don't shit your pants, don't shit your pants, don't shit your pants. And then I farted. Who was the other guy who was with us? I can't remember his name now.
Alex?
Alex. Sorry, Nick's brother. Yeah, whatever.
My roomie.
He's
My
your
dude.
roommate?
He's my roomie.
I don't know enough about you people. So anyway, I farted like at the last thing, and like he walks in, he's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "I
wish
don't
I could've
feel
seen that.
well."
That's great.
It was bad. It was like
it's hilarious.
So anyway, what do you guys think about overall
Overall, it was all mazes. It was dark mazes.
Yeah, mazes and
I was
Mazes,
very unimpressed.
mazes.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Especially
It
after the
started
guy hyped
strong.
it up.
It started strong.
Well, the
trail was good.
The guy at the start
When you
hyped
pushed
it
me in
up
front of
so
that car.
much.
Yeah, I pushed
Zach pushed me in front of a car.
the save Brad.
Yeah, the guy at the very beginning told us that people from West Virginia came all the way
just to
go to that place.
To Dayton,
He said it-
Ohio,
yeah.
for this specific haunt.
He said per night, like
Yeah.
2 to 3 people wet themselves. I was like, I got through it. I was like,
think this-
yeah, probably from waiting in line.
yeah.
I mean, I would
shit myself. So.
I mean, I would say this guy's getting paid to like hype it up, but they don't get paid at that thing.
No, they said
They're
that.
all volunteer.
They're all-
I
they-
bet that guy gets paid a little bit.
Maybe. Well, they said at the end of the night they have like a raffle of like 300 people, and like 3 or 4 of them get $20 each.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I got home at night. I did the math. Like, without the VIP passes and without concessions, they make between like $14,000 and $16,000 a night. They could pay
yeah.
some of those people.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be
Just
on.
throw each of them $20 or $30
just-
or whatever. They'd still make a killing.
I'm
Yeah.
curious who's getting that money.
The pun wasn't intended, but now it is.
recovered.
I mean, who's getting all that dough?
Whoever owns it.
So I
man.
guess what we're saying, none of us enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't hate it, but
It had its parts, but all
well,
in
the
all,
worst part's after you go wait in line. You go through the trail, and there's like another little part,
Another line.
and there's another line you gotta
Yeah.
wait before you go to the next part.
Yeah.
I
And
had
it's
there
not,
were
it's not even a separate attraction. It's a line that's in the middle of the attraction.
yeah.
there were really 2 times where I was really scared. When Zach pushed me in front of that car, and one guy jumped out and really got me at one point. I got
But that was during
by
the
that
trick.
guy.
Oh no, that was at
That was in the maze, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, the maze was almost pitch black, so that was pretty scary. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was just kind of
I thought
we're just
and-
walking.
well,
You
the
scared of
best
the dark,
part-
Tim? You scared of the dark?
scared. Yeah,
I'm scared of
are
the
you
dark.
not?
No.
I'm scared. I was
All
scared
right,
for
well.
Brad because he was like struggling to get through some of those parts. The clown's mouth.
Yeah.
You guys just left him. Everyone left
Guys
Brad.
ran off. I ripped my taint up wide open.
I hear Brad going, "Oh God!" I turn around. I go
God,
back.
it's everywhere.
I go back to help my friend. I turn around. You guys are gone.
I'm straddling a piece of wood because I fell into it.
Well, I thought the Hollywood one was pretty good.
The very last part
Very
with
last part.
Leatherface was really good.
It was
Yeah, Leatherface was
The
good.
Leatherface part was good.
The
Oh, but
Leatherface
it wasn't
part was the
scary,
only good
though.
part.
Did
No,
you
It was
guys
cool, but it wasn't scary.
Did you guys notice the Chucky doll at the very beginning?
Yeah.
It was just like
Yeah.
a little dog
That was
cage,
around the
like,
time I
it was just
farted.
like the doll. Like,
Yeah, that was weak as shit.
yeah, I was just like, okay, well, there's Chucky.
The only good parts is that they put you back into the forest and they had some tents. I'm like, oh, I bet Jason's here, and then Jason shows up. I'm like, okay, and then you pass him, and that's it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the scariest part for me was walking about halfway through. You see a big sign that says "You're next." Y-O-U-R. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, you
come
pointed it out.
on.
Yeah, you were very upset about that.
Y-O-U-R-E. Come on now.
Maybe that was on purpose. To scare
I'm not even an English major.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Illiteracy.
That was the scariest
My-
part.
I mean,
So,
this is the literally the Horrormongers Literary Society. So the illiteracy of that would be terrifying.
Well, out of 10, what do you guys say?
Well, my
From
score,
the thing?
my score might be skewed because I really had
I
to take a
want my
shit
money
the entire
back.
time. It was bad. I mean, for the money,
Yeah, especially for the
Yeah,
money. It's
I mean,
$20
okay.
for not even anything special. You get a VIP
Yeah.
pass for $30.
Okay.
For $20, I mean, we were there for like 3 hours.
waiting
mean,
in
the
line
thing
for
is-
Most of it
two.
waiting in line.
The thing is, if they're going to charge you $20 for people who don't even get paid to do it,
we got to see
like,
vandalism.
oh yeah, we got to
Well, not
like someone
vandalism.
was setting off fireworks.
Yeah, people
Oh,
kept setting off
yeah.
fireworks.
Yeah.
And then we got to see security guards running around like.
Who
doing
didn't
nothing.
do shit.
Yeah.
Like
trying to put
I
out
was
forest
So
fires.
that was
like
kind of fun.
I was seeing the kids in the line the entire time, and they were still looking around. Security,
Yeah.
like, where the fuck are
Yeah,
these kids?
go figure. The security guards who aren't paid are shitty at their job. Um,
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10.
And that's being generous.
I was
generous.
also going to give it a 2 out of 10.
Brad
I
gives
was
it
going to
to
say
it.
the same, just because I did like the trail,
Yeah.
and I liked the Hollywood thing.
Well, and I love the company.
There you go.
Oh, you know, if it was the company, I'd give it a whole 10 out of 10.
What a
Happy
guy.
ending. I'd give it a 1 out of 10 because I had to take a shit the entire. Like, it was not. I know I keep saying, but like you know what I'm saying. It's not like I have to kind of go to the bathroom. It's like, oh god, this is an emergency. This is an emergency. 3 hours of
3
this.
hours of
Yeah.
emergency.
Well, it was like in waves. Like, yeah, it was.
No,
bad.
I know what you mean.
As soon as
I can imagine.
Every time something scary happened, he's like, it's coming out now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
I don't know how I did.
either had to find some.
The
lonely
gods
spot
of
in the trees or
Halloween are
something.
like, give this man strength.
Yeah.
Again, barn burner on my drive home. 'Cause it's not a close drive. It's like 20 minutes from here. I give it a 2 out of 10. I mean, 1 out of 10 because I took a shit, but like in reality, 2 out of 10.
Definitely not as good as the Haunted Cave. The Haunted
No, the
Cave,
Haunted Cave was
Cave
much
was
better.
pretty good.
amazing.
I kind of wish I had gone to that. I didn't.
Much better.
Yeah, but you didn't, so
I
you
didn't.
suck.
I'm not a horrormonger. I'm just a guest.
Other non-horrormongers were there, so...
Yeah.
I think I might do one more.
I
this
have no
weekend.
excuses.
What?
Wait, you're going to go without us?
I might do the Haunted Hollow ride.
Oh, okay.
No, that's all right. I didn't want to go.
News
Cool.
to us, that's fine.
That's fine.
Well, if you fucks want to join.
No!
no, I don't want to be. I don't want to be like a side
We're
thing.
going to
Like,
go do our own thing
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go by myself.
well, I'd love to go to. Are you asking me out on a date?
I am. Brad, get away.
There's a sexual
Zach.
tension we mentioned. All right, so we're gonna finish
I'll
on
like to.
I'm very
this
sad.
little longer episode than normal, but this is a kind of a different episode. So, we actually had to do
Yeah, it really
homework
sucks.
I mean, I feel like we stayed on topic pretty well, at least
Yeah.
for most of it.
until Matt brought up Selma
Well,
Blair.
Selma Blair is not in faculty.
Yeah, we kind of went. off
I'm
the
so
rails
sorry, listeners.
All right, so we're gonna do
No,
One
Nobody's
person listening.
We are gonna do something different. We like to do a different segment each episode, kind of.
Sort of.
And this one, to close us out, we're doing something we call Marshmallow Murders.
Ooh, I got a little hard.
Oh yeah, me too.
there. A little hard for
I'm
the soft
swelling. I'm swelling up a
marshmallow.
little bit. So if you've ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, we basically ripped them off. What we do is we're going to tell a horror story. Right?
But do the points matter?
They always matter in my heart.
Okay. That's all that counts.
We're gonna do a one line at a time story. You might have done this also in high school. We do one line at a time. We're gonna go around the circle and we're gonna tell a horror, scary story. I guess is better. Just one line, not one word, one line. And we're gonna start with the person who's best at thinking on their feet, Brad.
Oh, yay.
So start your one line story. We go around. It doesn't have to make sense, obviously. We go Brad, Matt, Timothy, moi.
Well, who's Ma?
It's French for Zach.
All right.
That's Zach backwards. Mwah.
It was a dark and swampy ass.
Matt, it's your
And
turn.
then all of a sudden, the ass started opening up.
This is gonna get sexual quick.
The ass smelled of horrible, horrible ass.
Brad decided to stick his face in this horrible, horrible ass.
It was the kind of assy smell that smelled kind of assy.
So good at this.
So much that Brad loved the assy smell of the ass.
Are we really doing this right now?
Let's move forward. Move forward the story, Tim. It's your turn.
So
Push
then,
the story forward.
then a monster walked through the door with nails in his head and his hands.
But Brad wasn't done with the ass. The smelly, assy ass. He said, Mr. Monster, wait a second.
That was more than one line.
There's a comma in there.
So I stuck my head in the monster's ass. No.
Whilst Brad's head was deep in the monster's ass, he was feeling away for another ass.
He finally found another ass,
This is
and
the
it was
worst.
the ass of Selma Blair.
Selma Blair's like, Matt, I'm not in the faculty. Brad, it's your turn. Back to the asses.
I never saw the faculty, so the
end.
And all the village people were saved.
I will start the damn story, and I won't
Can we
include
redo
smelly
this?
ass. Yeah, Jesus Christ, you guys are all terrible at life. All right.
I was just going along with it.
Tim, I told you to push the story forward, and you went back to Selma Blair and ass.
This was way too much, way too heavy on the ass.
Well, you
I
started
like
off with
ass.
Couldn't you start off with the swamp? You had to add ass at the end. You
I
knew
thought-
it
I thought it was
You
funny.
knew as soon
You are
as
the
you said
Sue
it.
Snell of that story.
Oh, Sue Smell.
All right. Okay, I'll start off. It was a dark and stormy evening when two campers decided to do it under the moonlight.
Oh, this feels so good. I hope no one tries to kill us.
As she says, well, some dude impales her ass.
Can't get off it. The dude pulled his steak out of her ass and then proceeded to stab the man she was fucking repeatedly with a knife.
The man bled like a stuck pig, screaming, "Sweet!"
The killer then went on to the next couple.
What about the girl? She's still alive.
Oh, she's still alive?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I changed my answer to the killer looks at her lovingly and says,
You're half a Mickey in. I mean, I'm impressed you're still forming words.
I actually love you and I was jealous of this dude.
All right, Matt, it's your turn.
And then they get married.
So the first and
And
last
all
time.
the townspeople were saved. The end.
Or is it? Because that continues the story by saying, the end.
Good job, guys. We
First
really,
and last time we do
we did great.
Marshmallow Murders. I now
bad
see
for
why
the
you were
first
worried.
time.
I'm not good on my feet.
Yeah, also half a Mickey in, plus some change.
Next time, just do it
Oh,
one
half a
word.
Mickey,
I
yeah.
think it would go better one word per person.
Yeah, probably. One sentence is too much for our minds to handle.
Without going straight to ass.
Then there was the
Should we
place.
try like a minute of one word per person?
Let's do one more time. We'll do one word per person.
Okay.
Don't do
Once.
once. Oh my god. Off to a
On a
solid start.
time.
What the hell?
Matt can't count words, apparently.
All right, I'm gonna restart it. All right,
Jesus.
all right.
Upon a time is not a word.
Inside.
Your
Mind.
I
Bled.
out.
Of.
my
What a great place for this to land.
Full.
And.
my
Oh my gosh.
This is funny to only us.
Yeah. You just hear the people turning us off.
You're like, we're almost an hour and a half into it. These guys are drunk off their gourd. All right.
All right, good game.
Good game, all. So I think next episode, we're not going to do Marshmallow Murders first off. Second off,
Never again.
Bring back Murderer Melee.
yeah, that's the easiest one for us because we're
Well, I've already got one for the next one.
all right. Next episode probably next week. Actually, we're shooting for a special 1 week from now.
Spooky Halloween
Hopefully,
episode.
possibly, maybe, unless Matt wants to go off and do his own thing at
Yeah, without us.
his
Oh,
own stream
yeah.
art.
You
Forgot
know, I'm
about
just
that.
saying. You know, we're not
I
invited.
already forgot
I
about
already forgot
it.
about that.
And
If
Nah, I don't know yet.
If I could just say before you guys do your sign-offs, thank you very much for having me. It's been a blast.
Nobody
Can't
cares,
wait for
Tim.
the party.
kiss ass.
Nobody
Very,
cares.
very
Nobody
excited about the
cares.
logo. And also, nice job on the social media so far. I've been very engaged, and I like that, you know, it seems like every day there's something new, whether you guys are talking about something to watch or just posting memes, but it's been
Yeah.
good. So good job.
Yeah,
A lot more Selma Blair coming.
yeah. We need a Selma Blair will be on there.
Also, you're bringing more Selma Blair.
Well, I'm still hoping for Nev Campbell to get on this show.
Yeah, we're hoping
Nev, where are
One
you?
day. One
One
day she
day.
will be a special guest.
You'll be a special guest.
Yeah.
So our next episode, we haven't decided what exactly it's going to be. We have an idea, but we're not sure if we're going to do that.
Possibly, maybe.
Possibly, maybe. So we will have another episode probably next week because it is the month of October.
Oh, is that what it is?
It is the month of October.
Very,
Rocktober.
very special,
Rocktober.
spooky.
Rocking into
episode.
Rocktober.
So we figured for Halloween, our gift to you will be us being amazing and having our new logo
Yeah, we'll finally be good.
made by just me.
We'll finally be good.
We'll finally be good.
5 times the charm.
Yeah. So stick around for that.
Yeah, I also want to say, Tim, it was a pleasure having you on here.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'll
and
come
if
back anytime.
If you
really
made
hope
it
to
this
see you
far,
again.
All right.
On this
yeah, I'll say we'll never
show?
see Tim ever again. Apparently,
Yeah.
I hope to
Fading
see
off.
you again, Tim.
I'm going
just like the Avengers.
into the ether.
I do want to say if you made it
Did you
this far,
say into the urethra? What?
The ether.
ether.
Oh, gross.
You know, people used to snort back in the early
I gotta
1900s.
go pee out of my ether.
If you made it this far, thank you. And also, we like to point out that by the time you listen to this episode, episode 1 should be back on SoundCloud.
Woo!
So if you like this episode, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you can listen to our first episode.
Yeah, we're not good.
We're
are
awesome.
Hey, we have fun. Or
Hey,
you guys have fun.
BJ didn't say a certain R word this episode.
I
so
was
that's
going to
a win.
say, I can't believe the R word didn't get dropped.
That's a win.
The R word?
Retard?
Oh, boo.
All right, guys. See you all next week. I guess you'll hear
Yeah.
us.
Next time.
Yeah.
Same place. We're doing Marshmallow Murders again?
It's going to be the whole episode.
Let's
All
just
right.
do that for fun on our own time.
Yeah, we're going to do that right now. So thanks again, everyone.
Thank you, listeners.
Yeah, Matt likes to...
Both of you.
All
Yes.
2 of you.
I'm
Thank
going to
you.
go listen to it 20 times and beef the stats.
Woo, woo. Thanks all. Bye-bye.